After mentioning he recently turned 70, took exception to being told that he looks good for his age.
No, it's like saying you're smart for a stupid person.
Well, after thinking about it, he took to Instagram to say his joke didn't land the way he intended, and so...
Not only do I want to say I'm sorry to Kelly, but, and this is the hardest part, you're right.
In fact, he now realizes...
I look great for my age.
Yeah, so far no comment from Kelly or Mark. Okay, so there's yet another sick trend going around online. This one, are you ready, is called 5 Nights at Epstein's. It turns the real-life horror of the Epstein victims into a game. This is an online game. It simulates surviving on Jeffrey Epstein's island by trying to avoid getting assaulted by the late pedophile. Child safety advocates warn that this can desensitize kids to real-world consequences of sexual abuse. Meta says it's been blocking users from sharing links to the game. TikTok says its community guidelines don't allow sharing such content. Neither said anything about taking it down. YouTube declined to comment. They're singing this overseas. Cops in Italy are looking for a missing truckload of Kit Kat candy bars.
Nearly 500,000 Kit Kat candy bars were stolen after leaving a Nestle production site in Italy en route to Poland. The Swiss food giant says a 12-ton shipment of waffles covered in chocolate disappeared last week and could make their way to retailers and customers. Every batch of the bars carries a unique code which can be scanned to determine if the sweets were stolen.
That's correspondent Heather Bosch. In a statement, the company said cargo theft is an increasing problem for businesses of all sizes. They also wrote, quote, "We appreciate the criminals' exceptional taste." Another heist in Italy sending the art world spinning. Renoir, Cezanne, and Matisse paintings worth millions were stolen from the Magnani Rocca Foundation in Parma, Italy.
Police say the theft, which happened a week ago but has only just been announced, lasted less than 3 minutes and was clearly planned. The thieves forced the entrance door to get into a room before escaping across the museum gardens. According to the museum, the thieves had not been able to go any further because of the surveillance system and the rapid intervention of police and security officers. The theft is one of the most significant in Italy in recent years and is the latest in a series of robberies targeting major museums in Europe.
That's the BBC's Rachel Wright. Authorities in France detain another 2 suspects in a thwarted terror attack at an American bank in Paris.
Anti-terror authorities say they tried to detonate the device outside a Bank of America building around 3:30 Saturday morning. It's described as flammable liquid in a container taped to a fireworks tube. We have also learned that police in France have now arrested 3 people in connection with the alleged terror attack. All of the suspects are younger than 18.
That's correspondent Marcus Moore. So far, no IDs on these teens. Well, he's not exactly Wile E. Coyote. Yeah, but Chesney the kangaroo gave zookeepers in Wisconsin quite the headache for 3 days. That's after he escaped a petting zoo by scaling an 8-foot fence. This was at the Sunrise Farm, where apparently some stray dogs had rushed the enclosure and they spooked the kangaroo. The zoo followed up on multiple sightings. They even used heat-seeking drones to search for Chesney. He was eventually spotted in a wooded area Friday night, but he eluded capture. Saturday morning, they returned with his favorite treats, and one of the zoo staff just quietly approached him. Eventually, he got calm enough that they were able to just pick him up, like a giant dog, and get him to safety. The zoo says he was tired, but otherwise in good shape. Hey, there's a pizza recall to tell you about. This is in New Jersey involving HelloFresh and Trader Joe's ready-to-eat pizza and focaccia bread, which may contain metal fragments in the slow-roasted tomatoes that are in those products. They were made by a food manufacturer, Bacavor. If you have any of these items, you want to throw them out or just take them back. Now this message, ThriveWellInfusion.com, New York.
We're documenting history. Good morning, historians.
For CertaPro painters,
The date is March 30th, 2026, one of the last days of March. We're moving right along with this documenting history platform. We know this type of video is not the most exciting or the most entertaining, but I feel it's important that we document our history
right here in our community
with snippets here and there of our history. on a daily, almost daily basis.
And I don't have to search on the internet.
When I'm not commuting to work, I don't listen to the news. So there's no video. But when I commute to work, there will be a video. I'll be off next week. So I don't know if there will be a documenting history video.
From the culinary legacy of Arthur Avenue to the natural beauty of Van Court.
I may make a video, even if I'm not commuting to work, if I'm driving somewhere and I can put on 1010 Wins, I will put out a documenting history video.
You give us 20.
Here's the 720 updates.
Good morning, 49 degrees. It is 7:20 on this Monday, March 30th. I'm Susan Richard. Here's what's happening. A violent scene in Brownsville Sunday afternoon where 3 people were stabbed outside a NYCHA complex. Our Glenn Shuck coming up with the story. Move over March Madness. Here comes this.
Welcome to the Mayor's Municipal Madness, the first ever competition of City Fixing.
Yeah, voting taking place as we speak. We'll tell you how to participate. Despite President Trump's executive order to start paying TSA workers, both JFK and LaGuardia advised folks to get to the airport extra early. A former Surgeon General says he thinks social media needs to be regulated the same as cigarettes. And a cruise ship worker accidentally ruins a marriage proposal.
We gotta sing happy engagement. Oh my God.
Yeah, that faux pas coming up. In sports, it'll be UConn, Illinois, Arizona, and Michigan in the Final Four. Knicks and Mets lost. Yanks were off. AccuWeather sun this morning, clouds later on, and today's high 65. Wins News Time 7:21. Let's get you where you need to go. Here's Karen Stewart.
In Brooklyn, we are very slow, especially coming up from the Belt Parkway, getting into 53rd Street. There's an accident at 53rd. It's a brand new accident, just happened. Then we've got delays from 39th Street up into the Prospect Expressway, where there is an accident in the left, and then it's jammed from 3rd Avenue up into Atlantic Avenue. The Van Wyck southbound has delays heading down to Roosevelt Avenue. We got a broken down car out there. The right lane is blocked, and the northbound Cross Island Parkway has it disabled right around the LIE. The right lane blocked there. In New Jersey, Route 3 eastbound, an accident at MetLife Stadium with 1 lane blocked, and 15's a mess in Wharton. Southbound approaching 80. There's an accident down there at 80 by Picatinny Arsenal. 1 lane is blocked. Take 206 instead. And as we check what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels, the Holland is a repulsive 55 minutes from the Pulaski Skyway, 30 minutes from the Newark Bay Extension. And as we check what we see on Long Island's Big 3, Southern State westbound delays into exit 23. Northern State not bad. And the LIE scattered delays into the Queens line. We're sponsored by MajorWorld.com. Don't get duped by low average house prices on pre-owned cars. Once you try to buy one, the final price ends up being thousands more. Come to Major World for transparent pricing and no surprises. Major World, 4340 Northern Boulevard, Long Island City, Queens. Call 1-800-MAJOR-AUTO or go to MajorWorld.com. Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
A violent scene Sunday afternoon outside the Van Dyke houses in Brownsville.
A 25-year-old woman was stabbed in the stomach. Another woman, 26, wounded in her lower back. The violence didn't end there. A man was also wounded, slashed in the chest. He's 23. They're all stable, but sources are telling 1010 Wins that all of them are not cooperating with the police investigation. This happening in broad daylight Palm Sunday afternoon as neighbors watch police tape surrounding the building.
I didn't recognize them, and I've been living here a long time.
Young people need to get it together. Life is too short to mess around and stab, because it don't take but 1 second to make the wrong decision. You can spend a long time in jail for nothing.
It's unclear if the victims knew this attacker, a man who last seen running away on Dumont Avenue. Glenn Shuck, 1010 Wins, 92.3 FM in Brownsville, Brooklyn.
Former New Jersey Assemblyman Alberto Coutinho was killed over the weekend in a car crash in Newark. This happened on McCarter Highway and South Street, where police say the 56-year-old went into cardiac arrest and could not be saved. Former fellow Assembly member John Wisniewski.
I feel bad for his family and his friends. The state has lost somebody who has given a lot to all of us.
In addition to his legislative work, Coutinho served as a commissioner on the Newark Central Planning Board. He was also on the Zoning Board of Adjustment. He resigned from the Assembly in 2013 after pleading guilty to theft from his family's charity. He was pardoned by former Governor Phil Murphy, who in a statement said he was heartbroken to learn of Coutinho's passing. Senator Cory Booker called Coutinho not only a great leader, but a dear friend and a man whose life was defined by service. Mayor Mamdani back on social media with this latest initiative.
Welcome to the Mayor's Municipal Madness, the first ever competition of city fixes. City government fixes thousands of tiny little problems every year, like a broken basketball rim or a bump on a bike path. Small frustrations like these are our job to worry about, so you can focus on the big things.
This is a bracket-style tournament where you can vote for what repair projects you want to see happen around town. Nearly 12,000 people voted in the first round, which was through Saturday. The second round taking place as we speak. Then it's the semifinal voting tomorrow and Wednesday. The championship round Thursday and Friday. Participate at nyc.gov/madness. City DOT workers giving themselves a little pat on the back on social media.
Rose is here representing. Right, Richie? Yeah. We're here, fixing the road. Exactly.
Brooklyn. This is after the third weekend of pothole repair blitz in the city saw more than 7,600 fixed. So suddenly this Beyonce song is getting new life among teens across America.
2 years after Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album dropped, her song is becoming an anthem for school choirs. The director of the Germantown Friends a cappella group in Philadelphia says a student, Ryn Patterson Jordan, recommended it and wound up getting the solo. She said she feels like a vessel delivering Beyonce's message about reclaiming country music and what it means to be a black woman in America.
That's correspondent Deborah Rodriguez. Now Bloomberg Money Watch and Dan Schwartzman.
Susan Gold extended its first weekly gain since the Middle East conflict began. Bullion rose as much as 1.3% to trade above $4,500 an ounce, showing resilience despite a continued rise in oil prices and downturn in equities. Overall, though, gold is down around 14% since the war in Iran began at the end of February. Futures all in the green, still looking good. The Dow currently up 225 points. Nasdaq's up 99 points. The S&P, that's up 32 points. I'm Dan Schwartzman, Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
Your report sponsored by Brooklyn Solar Works.
Hey, New York City, summer is coming and those temperatures can run high in your summer.
It is 7:27. Pretty soon there will be a 7:30 a.m. update.
Utility bill.
I don't know if we'll get to that update. We'll get to Outwater Lane before that, probably.
Highest usage months of the year.
But we're here documenting our history.
Cleaner energy, a cooler home. See if your home is a good fit for solar at brooklynsolarworks.com. That's brooklynsolarworks.com.
Want money help without spending money? NYC Financial Empowerment Centers have been helping New Yorkers do more with their money.
I want to thank the historians that tune in to watch these videos. A like, a subscribe, a share, a comment. All of that will be appreciated. We want to make sure we get this channel out to as many people as possible. And the more likes, shares, comments, subscriptions, the more people that the YouTube algorithm will push this out to.
A 9/11 responder down at Ground Zero went to school south of Wall Street on 9/11 or in the 8 months that followed. Did they pass away after 2000?
The gas prices over here are shut down right now. I don't know if they're not dispensing any gasoline here. It looks like did they run out? I'm not sure.
From the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund. This is money that's approved by Congress to take care of you and your family. Barish and McGarry, they're downtown as well. They lost staffers to 9/11 cancers, so they know what you're going through. They also know how to see if you're eligible, get you enrolled, and get you the compensation you may deserve. So contact them at 911awards.com, 911awards with an S.com. Deadlines apply. Act now. It is not too late.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, like free fitness training and best-in-class equipment, so you can give everything you've got. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. See club for details.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Now this message, Dime. We've got your bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more at Dime.
I think we're getting the 7:30 updates now.
And a very good Monday morning, back to the start of the work week. I'm Scott Stanford. And if you're flying out of our area airports this week, think about getting there extra early and then go earlier than that. Travelers are being warned to arrive hours ahead of their flights as TSA shortages continue to slough up the security lines. Over the weekend, nearly a third of TSA officers reportedly called out sick at JFK, 18% at LaGuardia.
Lawmakers remain at an impasse. House Republicans rejected the Senate's bill because it stripped out funding for ICE and Border Patrol, even though both of those agencies are already fully funded under President Trump's mega bill passed last year. Democrats have been pushing for reforms to immigration enforcement, ICE agents wearing body cameras, and banning face masks. But the House passed its own short-term bill to fund DHS for 8 weeks. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says that plan is dead on arrival in the Senate, which, along with the House, is currently in a recess until April 13th.
That's correspondent Mola Langi. Wins News Time 7:31 Monday morning. Back to work. Let's get you where you need to go. How we looking, Karen Stewart?
Well, I got good news in New Jersey. That eastbound 3 crash at MetLife Stadium's gone. And the southbound 15 accident, remember how bad things were there? Down to 80 in Wharton. It's breaking up now. An accident there has been cleared away. You can continue to use 206 if you're worried about the delay. Now, on the southbound Garden State Parkway, we have heavy traffic to 144. There's an accident, and 1 lane's blocked. And then we're heavy on the northbound Garden State Parkway from 158 to 153, a 5-mile delay. So we check what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The inbound Holland's back down to 45 minutes. How'd that happen? From the Pulaski Skyway, 30 minutes from the Newark Bay extension. The Lincoln's 35, and the GW Bridge is 40, except from the Palisades where it's 15 minutes. If you're traveling in the Bronx, the westbound Cross Bronx, look for delays at the Deacon's. Not bad right now. Disabled in the right lane on the exit ramp. And the southbound Van Wyck at Roosevelt Avenue has got a disabled vehicle. We've got the right...
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining today's Documenting History snippet. Remember the 4 YouTube commandments: like, share, subscribe, and comment. And we'll see you on the next video.